Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Debbie McKeever and I am recording on the inside today because it is a very rainy day. Although I do love recording outside, the weather is actually warm, but I can't get out and record in the rain. I guess I could, but I won't. Anyway, I wanted to talk about something that I recorded for a podcast back on the 20th, and I forget what the title was for the podcast, but anyway, I just wanted to talk about how there is still time to finish strong for the 2021 calendar year. And if you're watching this today, then you know that today is December 30th. And you're probably thinking, okay, we only have like 2 days left. So what am I supposed to accomplish in 2 days? And actually at the time of this recording, we're halfway through the day, so technically, by the clock and by the calendar, we have a day and a half left in 2021. And there is still, believe it or not, more than enough time to finish strong. There's still more time for, miraculous things to happen and, things that you have been expecting to happen. There's time for your business to have explosive growth. There's time for you to have explosive growth in your personal life. And again, I know you may be thinking that I am off my rocker because, you're thinking a day and a half is not enough time to do all that. But really it is. And before I go further, I wanted to encourage you to rewatch, if you haven't already watched, the YouTube video that I made on unexpected change. And I think I'll drop the link for that in the comments so that you can go back and watch that one. And I'll also drop the link for the podcast that I made back on the 20th. And at that time, and I made it at night, and we still have like 11 full days left in this year. But you've heard me say it before, but there really is no time in God. God only needs, just a second. Anything great can happen in an instant. And, even something bad can happen in an instant, but that's not what this video is about. Great things can happen, literally right away in the twinkling of an eye. In the blink of an eye, your life could change for the better. Not even overnight, just like instantly. So what have prompted me to record the podcast initially is that my observation, at the end of the year, like as soon as December comes in, and for some people even before, but definitely once December comes in, like people just immediately fast forward to the next year. I mean, it's almost as if the last 2 to 4 weeks of the year, or whatever time they start planning for the next year, they just completely disregard it. Like people feel like, okay, this year is pretty much over with. I don't really have enough time, so I'm just going to go ahead and start planning for the next year. And in this case, the next year would be 2022. So I started seeing people posting about 2022 as early as the first week in December. And I thought, well, good grief, let's finish this year first. And then, let's worry about 2022 either when we get closer to it, or in my case, I don't worry about it until I get in it, because tomorrow's not promised anyway, first of all. And then, again, like I said, with God only needs an instant. So the only thing that we really need to do is focus on partnering with God. And you might be wondering, like, how can I partner with God? Partnering with God is having complete trust in God. And so once you trust God completely, like I said, that that it only takes God an instant to do anything. So you can whatever it is that you're believing for in 2021, you have technically until 11:59 on the 31st. And, God can and will show up by then. But even if it doesn't happen by then, don't give up. It can still happen. And one of the things that I noticed that I was doing is that I wasn't fast forwarding into the next year. Like I said, I always cross that bridge when I get there. But what I wasn't doing was paying attention to the things that I had accomplished These past 2 years have been really chaotic, with the COVID pandemic. And I think that a lot of us have had our focus on that and what's going wrong instead of what's going right. Not everyone, but, some of us have. And so I was so busy focusing on things that I still wanted to accomplish this year, is that I didn't really pay attention to what I had already accomplished. And I remember on December 2nd, that afternoon, just all of a sudden, I was sitting, having some quiet time, and I started thinking about things that had happened for me in 2021, and creating, my YouTube channel was one of those things, as well as my podcast. And so I decided to write out a list, and lo and behold, I had accomplished so many things that I hadn't even paid attention to. So I thought, wow, I was really accomplished, for this year. Some stuff public, some private accomplishments, and, stuff in my personal life, pretty much private, and then stuff that I had accomplished in my business. And I thought, wow, I really accomplished a lot. And I think that if we'll just sit and, think like that, that we'll realize that we have accomplished more than what we've really thought. I think we just get caught up in, what we still want to happen. And so we either don't pay attention to, or we forget the things that we've already accomplished. And one of the things that I talk about in that podcast is, remembering to stay present, because when we get caught up in the past, or when we're fast forwarding into the future, we miss the present moment. And so a lot of times something could be happening, that's connected to a goal or something that you're expecting, but you miss it because you've already jumped into 2022. So you've already pretty much given up on 2021, thinking that, there's not enough time. And there really is enough time. So I just want to challenge you to not only think over the things that you have actually accomplished for 2021, but just sit and stay present with the current moment, with right now, with December the 30th, or, if you're watching this tomorrow, with December the 31st, or whatever. Just stay present in the moment, and so that you don't miss, what God is doing in that moment, or what's happening for you in that moment. Just stay present and be aware. You'll be surprised at what you become aware of when you just sit still. And that's what happened for me on December 2nd, when I just decided to sit still and be present. That's when I thought about all the things that I had accomplished in 2021. I don't make New Year's resolutions. I'm not going to make New Year's resolutions for 2022. When I get to 2022, I'll make my goals and bite sizes like I do for every other year. And, I'm just going to make it a habit to stay present with those goals, so that I don't miss anything. So anyway, wanted to keep this brief. I'm going to wrap it up with that. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Again, I will drop the link to the podcast and to the other YouTube video in here, so that you can be encouraged by that. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the bell icon to receive notifications of when I release new videos. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it's dry where you are. Even if it's not, make it a great day.